Hi guys, we're the nerds of 9000 plus, and we're alive, damn it.
It's a miracle.
Hash Brown, you're watching us now.
Unbreakable. They alive.
So clearly we have been watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt season 2. So it was wonderful. I loved the first season, but this one I felt like went the absolute right direction with her. Sometimes with second seasons of shows, they don't know where to go, and it ends up being a lot less than that first season, because that first season is such a great blockbuster kind of hit. That second season, they're trying to capture the same exact thing that they had in the first season, but you can't do the same thing. You have to let the characters grow. You have to do a lot of things. And I really loved the character development between pretty much all of them in the second season. What did you guys think?
I think my favorite thing about this season, and it's odd because I don't love Lisa Kudrow.
But she was the perfect
But she
mom.
was, she's exactly the right choice. Spoilers. She's exactly the right choice to play Kimmy Schmidt's mother.
Yeah.
That Lisa Kudrow. She's just as flighty and silly and weird. And I just thought, what a solid decision that was. There are other actresses who would have been just fine.
Yeah.
But Lisa Kudrow is exactly what the role needed.
And who I wasn't expecting either.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
really
was
think of her,
really surprised when
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Also, David Cross joins the cast, and Tina Fey comes back. But unlike the first season, where she had played one of the defense lawyers, she's played a totally different character. She's playing Kimmy's therapist, who, ironically enough, has a dual personality because of alcohol.
It's completely ridiculous. So I wanted to point out quickly that David Cross is one of my all-time favorite comedians. I think he's brilliant, and his character is the Jacqueline character's new love interest. Yeah. What I actually really like about that is it starts off because she's kind of after his money, because she doesn't know how to live without money.
Yeah.
But then she realizes that like he's really a good guy.
Yeah. Love that.
Oh, I do too,
that character development.
But she is totally into him until she realizes that he is part owner of the Washington Redskins. His last name is Snyder. He is part of the Snyder family. And she, being actually Native American, apparently, even though her name is Jackie White, is very upset. But of course, they take that opportunity to make a pretty effective jab at the Redskins for that name. Yep. I think it's very nearly a look at directly to camera and say, why is this still a thing?
The new boyfriend of Titus, Mike, I'm loving their partnership. It's such a great pairing, and that they're growing together. Like I was saying earlier about character development, this season was all about character development. We met these characters last season and we kind of got into their lives and what they're about. And this season with Titus's character, seeing him grow in this relationship and becoming a better person, a little less selfish, not a lot, but a little less selfish, trying to be more responsible while still pursuing his dreams, and helping Mike now to kind of pursue his dreams and to be open. And I really love the commentary that Mike has on that there are different types of gay people. Like, you're not all flamboyant and you can still be a gay person. It doesn't really have anything to do with your personality of what kind of gay person you are.
The Mike character basically has just come out.
Yeah.
And only to some people. One, his family, totally supportive and awesome, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
But two, he goes through this whole thing about like how him and his coworkers don't talk because they keep that stuff bottled up.
Yeah.
But then there's this great scene at the end of that episode
was
where
so
they're all
awesome.
like on their machines and making all this noise, but they can't hear each other, but they're all like emotionally expressing themselves. Like, you know, I just miss my mother so much. And the guy's like in tears, but he's still like jackhammering, you know? So they're actually expressing themselves, but they just can't hear each other over their equipment. And I just thought that was kind of fun.
And another little story throughout the whole entire season, which was pretty interesting, was Lillian, who was played by the legendary Carol Kane, is trying to prevent gentrification of the neighborhoods and hipsters. Her battle against the hipsters was absolutely fantastic, and the fact that she fell asleep on top of the bulldozer and it kept on moving, and she was still asleep, was absolutely priceless.
It turns out I chained myself to a part that they didn't need to operate it. Yeah. She chains herself to a bulldozer and does it wrong, and she's like totally not in the way. She's just like riding the bulldozer, basically. It's very funny.
And I love that character development, since you bring her up, about how she's dealing with the fact that she's older now, and she used to be this great protester and activist and everything, and now she's just the old lady. She can do whatever she wants now.
How about when she becomes excited that there's new gang tags on the building? So she wants all these hipsters to get out of there because they're dangerous, but she keeps calling herself part of this gang, but it turns out it's actually just like the code that the guy puts on the wall with the spray paint so they'd know where to run the landline.
Yes, the gang was supposed to
internet.
be. Yeah, the gang was supposed to be F10. It turned out it was just FiOS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. That whole
FA10 Cinco. That's what she said.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
It looks like 105 almost.
Okay, yeah.
FA10 Cinco. And he's like, that's just where we're going to run the internet. And she's like, what?
the story of Dong and his
wife. His immigration wife.
Yeah, that whole story and Kimmy and just dealing with all of that was brilliant.
The whole thing was fun and done well. Of course, Jeff Goldblum is in it.
Oh, yeah.
He's a talk show host, and I cannot get enough of Jeff Goldblum.
Bringing him on as like a Dr. Phil kind of parody was absolutely
so great.
priceless. And he is, when it comes to comedy, Jeff is a fantastic straight man.
I love it,
And
yeah.
just the whole entire story of Kimmy dealing with anger, it was absolutely fantastic.
Her happy place.
Yeah, her happy place. Because that's the thing. Kimmy never really dealt with anger properly. She just went to her happy place and just buried her anger. Hence why she had to see a therapist. And because there were times like at night she would be choking Titus, waking up,
And I'm glad
beating
we
him
came
up.
back to that too, because that was all in first season. So I'm really glad we're coming back to that.
Yes, I love that part of the story was resolved, and that the relationship that she has with the therapist, it did help out a lot, and she got to air out everything with her mom through roller coaster rides, because apparently that's what Lisa
That was
Kudrow's
so fun.
yeah, Lisa Kudrow, that was kind of like similar to the jackhammering. It's like to just get it all out without anybody hearing.
Total massive spoiler. If you really don't want to know, the season 2 ends with the Reverend who put the mole women in their mole hole calls Kimmy to tell her that he's gonna get married in prison, but first must divorce Kimmy. I guess a lot of season 3 is going to deal with her emotions dealing with that, and whether I got to imagine they're going to touch on the legality or illegality of their wedding or how any of that's going to work. And maybe he just wants to be divorced in the eyes of his God, or something weird like that. So it's like a ceremony, and the whole thing's interesting. I'm very curious as to where they're going to go with that.
No, get the digits. The digits.
Once again, we're the nerds of N9000 Plus, and thank you for joining us as we reviewed season 2 of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Don't forget to check out our other videos right over here. And if you'd like to click subscribe so you can keep up with the videos we come out with later, you're going to want to do that right down here. Don't forget, please, grab some Pinot Noir in the boudoir and comment below.
Whispered repetition.
Catchphrase.